Talk to me. WSRadio.com.
Welcome to Track Talk, your connection coast to coast and beyond in all the latest news, developments, stake race analysis, and interviews inside the world of thoroughbred horse racing. From California to New York, Florida, and Kentucky, we have you covered. It's post time, live from San Diego. It's Track Talk. And we welcome you on a Saturday morning live from Chamber of Commerce Day here on the West Coast in San Diego, California. And what a day we have, and we welcome you no matter where you might be across this land. You could be in Dubai. You could be down in South Florida at Hallandale, Gulfstream Park, the site of the Florida Derby. A mandatory payout in that Rainbow Pick 6 today, 14 races at Gulfstream Park. March Madness, the Elite Eight is set. 2 games go today, 2 tomorrow. The field shrunk from 68, 62, 32, 16, 8. That's where we stand right now. And we have a lot of information to share with you. Track Talk live on the radio here in San Diego, California. WSRadio.com. And we go inside the studio, and Tommy D's with us.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Big day across the country. Got some basketball, obviously. NCAA basketball looking pretty solid. Major League Baseball starting up. We're here in San Diego. The Padres 2-0, Felix. Let's talk about that for just a brief second. We might not hear that above 500 there here in San Diego. But a big day of racing. Over in Dubai also, big racing, XY Jet. We also have the winner of the... of the UAE Derby, so we'll talk about that a little bit here. But, you know, the main action in horse racing is going to be at Gulfstream, but we'll talk about Santa Anita today, a little bit basketball. I'm jacked up. We got a big day of sports and horse racing today.
Without any doubt, we go to the Big Easy to check in with Michigan State, Matty B. Big Easy, Matty B. Your Sparties are continuing to dance here, my friend.
Oh, yeah, that's finally about damn time. All these years since making the Final Four in 2015 and haven't been back anywhere close since. Couldn't get out of the first weekend for these last 3-4 years. And finally making it back. And, man, they took LSU to the mat yesterday, right out the gate. The freshmen playing great. Aaron Henry, Gabe Brown with huge points, 20 and 15 points apiece for Michigan State. And if these Spartans, these freshman Spartans, step up and continue to play like this, along with the phenomenal play of Cassius Winston and Kenny Goins and Xavier Tillman and Matt McQuaid, I don't know who's beating Michigan State if they keep playing like this, including Zion Williamson and Duke.
Last Sunday, we got off the air when Iowa was playing Tennessee. Tennessee was 49-21 at halftime. That game went to overtime. Boy, little did we know that we were going to see another instant classic just hours following with Duke and UCF, which was as good as any game that we've seen so far. Last night's games were good between Duke and Virginia Tech. Kentucky moves over and survives in advance against a good Houston Cougar team. So the road to Minneapolis looking like this. Today, just up north here at the Honda Center, Gonzaga and Texas Tech, 2 teams that personally I've been following all year long, and I know you have as well, Tommy D. Gonzaga is currently a 4-point favorite, and that total was dipped from an opening 138 to 137. The following game from Louisville, Kentucky, actually. Let me see. I wanted to see if this game goes first or not. It didn't really make I didn't make a time change on this. I think the Virginia-Purdue game, it's going to be played, but I don't know which one's going to be played first, Gonzaga or Texas Tech or Virginia-Purdue. But
Gonzaga, Texas Tech is played first.
Okay. Purdue against Tennessee on Thursday night had a big 16-point lead, and Tennessee came storming back to send that game into overtime. Purdue eventually advances. They're 4.5. Who's favored in this game here? Did I put the wrong favorite? Is Virginia favored by 4.5 in this game, Tommy D?
Yeah, they
Yes,
are. They are actually, Felix. Playing. It's funny you say that, but they are playing in Louisville, Kentucky. Only less than 3 hours away from the campus of Purdue. Purdue's playing at top level, but yeah, UVA been on top all year. They probably deserve to be the favorite here, but Purdue looking really solid. But Virginia finding ways to figure out the answers to the problems in a lot of these games. But Texas Tech Gonzaga is the one I'm interested to watch. The first game, I'd be interested to see who Maddie B likes in this game. But Gonzaga, as we talked about, the defense, the synergy, these guys, a couple guys could step up. And Clark, unbelievable. In that one game, he had 36 and 5 blocks. This guy is a monster. Gonzaga, I don't see him getting beat. But Texas Tech also has a monster with Jarrett Culver. This guy's a star. Maddie B, Texas Tech rolling through Michigan and Buffalo, both solid teams. And Gonzaga, rolling through teams too. Who do you like today in this game? 4.5 points is what I have, plus 4.5 to Texas Tech currently.
Gonzaga proved a lot to me against Florida State. And I know Florida State was missing one of their best players, but that team is so deep. And that team is basically the same team as last year that beat Gonzaga in the same situation by 15 points. And Gonzaga gets their revenge. And while it was a close game in the end, Gonzaga kept Florida State at arm's length throughout that game. They got a good-sized lead. Florida State would try and come back, but Gonzaga never really gave it up. And they proved a lot to me in that Florida State game. Florida State has been playing great basketball coming into that meeting against Gonzaga, and Gonzaga really controlled the tempo and the pace and made it their basketball game. Texas Tech, and what they did to Michigan was just phenomenal. They have fast hands. Their hands were everywhere defensively. They were getting in the passing lanes. They were making Michigan make mistakes. And Michigan is not a great offensive team, but they can make their shots, and they were not making their shots. 0 for 18 until their manager off the bench hit the only 3-point of the game for Michigan. Texas Tech was the most impressive of the night with what they did to a very good Michigan Wolverine squad. Their defense, that travels. There's no slump in defense. There's slumps in offense.
It wasn't
that
any
defense
good
is like
Michigan.
it was the other night, Gonzaga might be in some trouble. Because that Texas Tech team, that was an impressive victory.
Yeah, but come on, dude. All right, please. All right, Michigan is not that good of a team offensively. They were exposed by Texas Tech. They were exposed by Texas Tech.
Than the 45 points they put up. A lot better than the 45 points they put up.
Where'd the offense come from, dude?
What, Michigan?
Yeah.
In that game, it didn't. You got Iggy Brazdeikis. He was the only one doing anything. But Jordan Poole was a better player than what they were showing there. Charles Matthews a better player than what they were showing there. Even Xavier Simpson wasn't getting his little baby running, sliding hook shot to fall. Nothing was falling from Michigan. There were open looks that they were missing, but there was also some phenomenal defense by Texas Tech. It was a mix of both in that game. It was a disaster game for Michigan, but Texas Tech did their part absolutely defensively.
All right, Virginia wasn't any better, were they?
Nope. No, Virginia has not. Look, you win 30-something games in, one of the top 2 toughest conferences in basketball. The Big Ten won overall for toughest conference, but ACC was much more top-heavy, obviously, getting 3 number 1 seeds out of the ACC. But, the most impressive-looking ACC team coming into yesterday was North Carolina, and look where they are now, same place we are, sitting on our couches watching the tournament. Duke and Virginia have not been impressive in this tournament. Duke barely surviving again yesterday, Virginia Tech. Virginia barely surviving against Oregon, barely surviving the weekend before. They have not been otherworldly. And Purdue, if Carson Edwards continues to play at this hot streak high level, Purdue will absolutely upset Virginia.
Going to be great games. Duke and Michigan State tomorrow. Auburn and Kentucky. Auburn loses a key player maybe for the whole tournament. Gonzaga Gonzaga really playing very well defensively. Tommy D and I have been on Gonzaga for a month of Sundays. I just think that they are so focused, nothing rattles them. They took down a good Florida State team Thursday night at the Honda Center in Anaheim. I don't see any problem. And Gonzaga and Texas Tech have been two of my teams. You know, Matty B, from going back to last year, I had Texas Tech. Remember going deep in the tournament, and this year their team is just as good. They really are, and I think they're going to be well represented. Do they have enough firepower to play with Gonzaga? Gonzaga did not show very much against Florida State on the offensive end. Virginia and Oregon, a snooze. The first 1-20 would have won that game. Auburn just put the big hurt on North Carolina. Tommy D, Duke and Matty B's Michigan State goes tomorrow. You think that Matty B will be watching that Michigan State game tomorrow?
I gotta think Matty B will be watching that game. I think a lot of people will be watching that game, including my dad. Dad, thanks for listening this morning. We watched the Duke game the other day. The Duke's squeaking by. So if Michigan State's playing on that top level that they're playing at, I think they could take Duke out. And Matty B is going to be dancing all day down there in the Big Easy. But, if Duke plays at their top level, and Zion is the X factor in this game, if you watch it, he looks like he's a man amongst boys out there sometimes, the way he takes the ball to the hole and scores so easily. But, Michigan State on top of their game, I can't wait to watch it, Matty B. I'm really excited to see this one tomorrow. But Purdue, Virginia, who's your top pick in this one? I'm thinking if I was Virginia, I'd go back and watch the last two Minnesota games because Minnesota beat Purdue twice at the end of the season. Maybe figure out the idea there that Minnesota had for Virginia to win this game.
Well, a lot of that was Carson Edwards. He was in a slump. He was playing horribly. He was shooting horribly, getting a lot of the same, crap that a lot of great players who go into slumps get of, is he really that good? And then he broke out of that slump in this tournament, and Purdue has followed their leader, Carson Edwards. With Virginia, you look at a guy like Kyle Guy, who has been in a hell of a slump in the tournament, can't hit threes to save his life all of a sudden. And, the Big Ten is tough. These guys beat each other up all year. This is one of the things they always get complaints about when it comes to the Big Ten and why aren't they seeded higher? Well, they kept losing to each other. Well, that's because they're a bunch of really good teams. And while Minnesota wasn't a world beater, they were good enough to make the dance. They were a good team. They won their first round game against Louisville and then lost their best player. And so Michigan State had a really easy time with Minnesota in the second round. But Purdue is no slouch. Matt Painter's a decent coach. Like I said, Carson Edwards, he can go off for 40 points. And if he does anything near that, look, you're playing a great defense in Virginia. But Virginia doesn't like to come from behind. They're not built for it. And if Purdue can get a 10-point lead early on and then just play even basketball with them, which they are capable of, they can very much make this upset. I have not been impressed at all with what I've seen from Virginia in this tournament so far.
No, neither have I. Matty B, I know you're off and running today. We will check in with you tomorrow morning. Have a great day and have your green shirt on.
Oh, you absolutely know it. Go green, go white. Looking forward to it. Can't wait to talk more about this game tomorrow with you guys. Enjoy today's Elite Eight games, folks.
Thank you, Matty B. Live from the Big Easy. We go from New Orleans up to Los Angeles, Arcadia. Larry Zapp is joining us here on a Saturday morning. Zapper, what's going on?
Well, there's the rumors about me starting up a site to give out college basketball releases. That's going to have to wait till next year, Felix. I think my best bets this tournament were 9-1. Only Duke losing the point spread early in the tournament for me. But Big Ten, baby, that's what's going on. Purdue, Michigan State, they're both juggernauts. I know Purdue got scared a little last time, but I think it's a good win for them to fight back. I think going forward, two Big Ten schools will be in the Final Four. But Dubai is going on today at Maidan. Big races in Dubai. Little American flavor. There have been a couple American winners, a lot of Sheikh Mohammed winners, and even the Japanese Super Philly Almond Eye. Florida Derby card, huge card today. Santa Anita's back and rolling. No problems yesterday with their reopening. If you're a sports fan, college hoops, basketball, baseball started. horse racing, even in Southern California, you're in the right place because we got a lot to talk about.
You got it. You got it. $2.6 million in that Rainbow Pick 6 pool down at Gulfstream Park. It's a mandatory giveaway today. So they're going to wager another, I would say, $7.5 million. That pool, I would think, would be right around $10 million, maybe even higher. Florida Derby Day, a lot of people from across the country, national coverage across the board on the networks for Saturday at the races and what have you. And a nice field at Gulfstream Park. 14 races, which the final race will be the $1 million Florida Derby. So let's get to it. I mean, come on, guys. 20-cent pick 6. You got to be in it to win it. The first leg, and I don't want to get an exhaustive, 3, 5, 7, 9, 10, but I want to get through this because we want to get to Santa Anita because Santa Anita has a 10-race card with some beautiful grade ones. Included in that is the Frank Kilroe and the Beholder Mile. So we want to get to that because I think there's going to be some value at Santa Anita. But, Tommy D, we go to the 9th race at Gulfstream, and for that Rainbow Pick 6, 4 turf races in a row. So we have the 9th, the 10th, 11th, and the 12th. Actually, it starts in the 10th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it starts in the 9th race. So anyway, we got actually 1, 2, 3, 4 turf races as I look at it to kick off this Pick 6. Rainbow Pick 6, race number 9. It's a maiden race, Tommy D. Group of 3-year-olds, full fields. You got a spread here, no?
Oh, race 9. Yeah, I love this. My top choice is 12-1 Scattered Strikes. Motion Ortiz Jr., 14% first-time starter for Scat Daddy. I also like the 10, Machine Learning, Uncle Mo. You got Brown and Castellano, 36% there. 1, Go for a Ride, 12-1, Castellano. 9, Bad Boy, 4-1. 8 in the 8, Social Panera. But I think you could go all in this race. I think any horse could win this race. I think this is where you can maybe start off with a bang.
Zapper, you got any scoop in race number 9 to kick off this Rainbow?
I wish I did. I mean, I know some of these young unraised horses, the proven commodities, which are the 8 and the 9, Social Paranoia and Bad Boy, these two like to run second and third, so I would definitely spread in this race. I mean, Machine Learning, the 10 horse, whenever Chad Brown gets these Klarovich horses, this horse was bought for $200 as a weanling. It's a logical horse with Castellano on, so I definitely use the 10 Machine Learning, but I'd be spreading in this race.
All right, what about the 10th race right next door? Anything you can dive into, Zapper?
Yeah, this is fillies and mares 4 and up, 1 mile on the turf. It's a listed stake. It's not graded. Your favorite has gotten really, really good. Valedictorian is a New Jersey bred. She ran second in the Honey Fox last time. Before that, she won the Swanee River. I mean, it looks like if you need a single in this sequence, she might. I mean, she's a now horse. Proctor's Ledge, a 9 horse, coming off of a layoff. I like a horse with speed who's going to get position. New Jersey bred by Temple City. Valedictorian's probably my single here in the second leg, race number 10, the Sand Springs.
All right, Tyler Gaffleone gets the call 5-2 on the morning line. Over to you, Tommy D. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with Zap here. Number 5 looks strong here. Second by a half in the grade 3 Honey Fox. A stronger race there. Number 5, I think Zap's onto something. If I had to take any other horses, maybe the 8, Too Charming seems interesting. 2 in a row for Elbatrani. This is a Godolphin racing. And then 9, Proctor's Ledge. Johnny V is going to be up aboard for Walsh. But number 5, Valedictorian looks solid here, I think, in race 10 also.
Okay, in race number 10, I think you gave the wrong horse's name in the 8. Did you just mention the 8?
8, Too Charming? Is that the wrong horse?
Too Charming is the 6.
Oh, the 6 horse. Sorry about that.
Okay, so you like the 6?
Yeah, that'd be the second horse I like in Proctor's Ledge.
5,
too.
6, and 9?
Yeah, but 5, I agree with Zap if you got to take a shot somewhere because this card's tough today.
Okay, but you got in order to go ahead and shake out and eliminate some of the competition, you can't just get in there with a 5-2 shot, so you have to throw that 6, Top Charming, in there at a nice morning line at 8-1. So, and Proctor Ledge with JR in the boot is at 4-1. All right, we go right back to you, Tommy D. 11th race, 7 furlongs, 4 and upward now. This is a tough distance, 7 furlongs. And you have a wide field of 11 going in here. The morning line is at 9-2. So that gives the lines maker, the odds maker, the morning lines maker, I should say, somewhat of a scratch-my-head approach to this race. What about you?
Well, yeah, Restoring Hope is going to be that horse coming out of the Belmont, going to be dropping down here to face much weaker. So, and you get Ortiz Jr., top jock aboard there. So this horse looks pretty solid. Service is on fire, so you can't be mad at it. But, yeah, who knows? This horse has been off for a while, so I can't put all my eggs in that basket. Number 7, the Gospel of John, is a horse I like at 8-1. This horse broke maiden last time on the track in December. This might be a reach, but I do like it. And then number 8 was the other horse that caught my eye, Fast Pass, Peter Walder and Gaffleon. This horse finished 3rd nicely last time out on the track at the distance. And then Navarro, the 9-horse, Articulator. This is going to be the speed of the race. Navarro gelding won over in Dubai with XY Jet this morning, so congratulations. And if you're interested in playing the Dubai World Cup, you got about 15 minutes or so till that goes off also. So race 11, I like the 5, 7, 8, 9. I think you can spread in this race also. Number 5, who knows what it's going to do off the bench.
All right, Zapper, 11th race we go. Pass or play?
Well, you got us playing this rainbow, so I guess it's hard to pass because you're talking about millions. But I like the 3-horse Gleason for Todd Pletcher. This horse won first time out at Tampa last year, going 7/8. They tried him a little longer. He ran a good second at a mile at Aqueduct, then throw out the grass race against some really good horses. And he comes back last time, and he got that wide, 3 wide, 4 wide trip where he battles in the lane and only gets beat 2 lengths. I think he'll be a tighter horse to lay. I love the price. Include this into anything you're using, including Tommy D's horse. Number 3, Gleason, looks like a strong play for me. Race 11 at Gulfstream.
All right, 12th race we go. Zapper, right back at you. Or Tommy D, did you give it any thoughts in race number 11?
Yeah, we're good.
All right, so we go to the 12th then. As we get down to this 14-race card, the $1 million Florida Derby, the Grade 1, is going to be carded as the final of the 14 races. 12th race we go, still on the turf, 4 and up, allowance optional claiming, 1 mile on the turf, a field 11, second mate, 4-1 shot here with J.J. Castellano. Looks like the favorite in this race is at 4-1. So the lines maker not making any clear-cut favorite in these last 2 races. What do you have, Zapper?
It's another very wide-open race, like you're saying. Morning line is indicative of that. Got the same angle working for Todd Pletcher, the 8-horse here. Battle of Blenheim had the comeback race. He ran 8 by 5 that day. The winner of that race happened to come back. He was favored in that race. Sometimes a horse just needs a race. This horse loves the distance, never been worse than second, and 3 tries to win in 2 seconds. Saez has the call for Pletcher. Rapoli owns 6-1 morning line. I mean, after you use that horse, Felix, I like Inside Post because they do save ground. So I'm going to use the 1, 2, and 3. They're all in that 5-1, 6-1 range. So for me, it's 8, 1, 2, 3 in a very wide open, very difficult race. A lot of them that way today at Gulfstream Park.
All right, that's the way we kind of expect to on big days like this, Florida Derby Day. A lot of people, a lot of fields, a lot of owners, a lot of connections want to get to the winner's circle, pride themselves around Gulfstream Park, Hallandale, Florida, from excitement of winning at Gulfstream Park on Florida Derby Day 2019. Tommy D, what do you think?
Yeah, I kind of like the 1, Pagalalachi. I'm not saying if I'm saying that proper, but Mott and Ortiz, this speed, if this horse comes out to the front, there's not much speed in this race. Ortiz Jr. decides to ride here on this number 1 horse, so I do like that angle. And then number 3, Neepaw, and number 8, who Zap mentioned, are the other horses I like in race 12.
All right, go to the 13th, Tommy D. What do you think?
Yeah, 13th. My top horse I did fall on was number 1, Focus Group. This horse is a Chad Brown Ortiz Jr. combo, 24% at Gulfstream Park. Chad Brown, 23% in stakes. This horse is coming out of a grade 1 where it finished third behind some tough competition. It had a tough trip at Woodbine. It's been off the bench since the fall, so we'll see how it comes back. As Zap was saying earlier, Clairvich Stables is a name that I pay attention to, so when they're in the race, I want to pay attention to it. So number 1 focus group's going to be tough today. And I kind of like a horse on the outside, number 9, Bigger Pitcher, Michael Maker and Gaffleone here. This horse winning a grade 3 at Houston last time. This horse ran out here at Del Mar in the fall, finishing second in a grade 2 here. So I think Maker will have this horse and Gaffleone. Owners are 3 Diamond Farm, also a nice outlet. So I do like number 9, Bigger Pitcher, at a little bit more of a price. So 1, 9 are the horses I like here in race 13.
Zapper, what do you think, the 13th?
Well, I'm thinking there's not a whole lot of pace signed up. 3-horse Village King, Argentinian bred. I guess I'm calling for a big Pletcher day. He started off early this morning with Cold Front, winning the Dubai Mile on dirt. Johnny Velasquez, his main go-to guy. Village King just looks like he just might have caught the right field to try to control. Never won at the distance, but he's coming up a couple at this distance. I'm just hoping he can slow things down and take him as far as he can. After that, my favorite turf trainer in America is Michael Maker. He's got 2 in here. They both fit. That's the 8 Saglio and the 9 Bigger Picture. I'm going 3 deep in here. It's hard to leave Chad Brown off the 1, but I'm going to do it. 3, 8, 9 for me. Just trying to get through another leg, Felix.
All righty. Tommy D, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you want to move on to the Florida Derby?
Yeah,
there?
what do you think about the Florida Derby, TD?
Man, that's interesting. I think it's going to be a good race. I'm going to go with the horse that's hasn't been tested, and that's number 7, Maximum Security. This horse is going up in class. Jason Service, 45%. Jockey Trainer, 30% there. New Year's Day is going to be the sire here, which was a Breeders' Cup winner for Gary and Mary West, who own this horse. So I think that number 7 has a shot here. Of course, number 4, Bourbon War is a horse a lot of people are talking about. Number 9, Code of Honor, and number 1, Hidden Scroll are all the horses in there. But Harvey Wallbanger getting 15-1 seems interesting. Morning line after winning last time out. Top choice, Maximum Security for me, number 7 in the Florida Derby, Felix.
All righty. What about you, Zapper? Florida Derby, 14th race. What do you have?
Well, I brought Hidden Scroll to your attention, Felix, and you got Mr. Bill Mott right on the phone, and we talked about him after that scintillating debut win. Joel Rosario, known for some really smart rides and just a great physical rider, did not give Hidden Scroll a good ride in the Fountain of Youth. No reason the horse needs to get into a speed duel going 45 and change. The horse draws the rail. Castellano is cool and, under pressure. He's on the best horse here. How is he going to negotiate this? Well, I'm going to trust in Javier. The horses look great in the mornings from what I've seen on the XBTV channel, and I'm going to say he's just too much horse for this field, and Hidden Scroll is going to stamp himself right into Kentucky Derby talk after he demolishes this field today. Number 1, Hidden Scroll, in a laugher for me in the Florida Derby.
Did Castellano ride last time?
No, I just said Rosario gave this horse a terrible ride last time.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I was thinking of that as well, and I didn't hear you say that because Rosario's in Dubai with Mike Smith and another jockey. I can't remember.
Yeah, he was getting fired. It's not because he's in Dubai he's not on this horse.
Yeah,
Bill Mott fires very few jocks. It was just a bad ride. You know what? We're all capable of bad selections, bad rides, bad a lot of things. But Castellano takes over, and this horse is special. Hopefully he shows it today, and we get to start talking about Hidden Scroll as the horse to beat the first Saturday in May.
What did you do last time? Go out too fast?
Yeah, he went 22 and 4, 45 and 3, got into a speed duel, only gets speed 3 lengths. I mean, he just showed right there his brilliance, and he gets a little headier ride today. I just think he's physically too much horse for this field.
All righty. So we'll move on, and we'll head on to sunny Southern California on this last Saturday in March Madness. And racing resumed. Congratulations to Santa Anita. Congratulations to all the connections up there, Newbie and Tom Quigley and Frank Marimati doing a great job. And our girl, Brittany, is in Dubai, and she is looking as dapper and beautiful as ever. So I just sent her a little tweet. She's a superstar wherever she goes, and she's on top of her game. What do you have, Tommy D?
Yeah, I just wanted to give out a 20-cent ticket for me and Zap's picks here. So race 9.
Hold on 1 sec. Let me clear it up here.
So race 9 is going to be. We said you could spread it. I think you go deep here. I just put 6 horses in there, including Zap's top choice number 10, Machine Learning, but going 12, 10, 1, 9, 8, 6.
Hold on.
And I said it in that order because that's the way I like it. 12, 10, 1, 9, 8, 6.
Okay, that's the first leg, race
first
number 9.
leg, yep. And then single number 5 in race 10.
Okay.
We're going to move on to race 11. We're going to be using the 3, Gleason. That's Zap's top choice. We're going to be using the 5, Restoring Hope.
Okay.
The 7, the 8, and the 9.
Okay.
For 5 horses.
Alrighty.
And then in race 12, we're going to be using 1, 2, 3, 11, and 8 for 5 horses.
1, 2, 3, 11, and 8.
Yep. And then in race 13, Village King is Zap's top horse. My top horse is Focus Group. We'll be using 3, 8, 9, 1 for 4 horses.
3, 8, 9, 1 in race 13.
Yep. And then in the following race, Florida Derby, we're going to go with 2 horses. We're going to go Hidden Scroll, Zap's top choice, and my top choice, Maximum Security.
Number?
It's going to be the 1 and the 7. It's a $240 ticket on 20-cent
for
bet.
20-cent bet.
Tommy D.
Yes.
Question. Jason's service, 45%. You think he's doing it on hay, oats, and water?
You know what? I can't answer that question. I'd like to think that he's doing it the right way. But honestly, at this time and stage in the game, it's hard to believe, especially when these top trainers are winning at certain clips. So you know what? I don't know. You know, I can't answer that question. I don't want to say because I don't know for truth.
It's an amazing run. I mean, he's taking horses. I mean, this horse, he just ran cheap himself for the breeders, but it's just kind of an amazing. In a day of synthetic drugs, I mean, I'm not saying anything either, but it's just an amazing thing this man is doing on a major circuit.
Yeah, 45%, unbelievable, especially over, on the East Coast circuit, running against top horses. So hats off to the barn. Hopefully everything's, going proper there.
Hey, Zapper, I'm surprised you didn't give me any love in regard to my picks on Thursday night.
Well, Felix, when you bring up last Sunday first, then we'll talk about that. I mean, I'm for some reason, a juicy hamburger and some fries and a nice cold beer.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I forgot. I didn't know. Now I'm thinking Sunday. Okay. Yes. I had UCI and you had?
The Ducks.
Who?
The Ducks of Oregon.
Oh, that's right.
And,
okay.
You guys made a nice little second half run, and then I think I got a text from you. I ignored it. About 4 minutes later,
yeah.
You wish you didn't send that text. But
that's exactly right.
You did okay Thursday night, though. I mean, I checked you. I checked your knowledge out. You didn't like Michigan. You like Texas Tech a lot, and you like Gonzaga. And Gonzaga has. There's no doubt in my mind Gonzaga is well coached. They got a complete team. I really believe them and Michigan State have the most complete teams of all the tournaments. And, going after Tom Izzo, the national media and the social media idiots that we keep seeing in horse racing and now we see in other sports, all they did was get these kids in Michigan State to prove a point. And you know what? It's being proven. Michigan State was unbeatable ever since people went after Tom Izzo. And it's kind of nice to see kids get around the coach that they know is he's a tough guy. He ain't soft. And you know what? It makes a difference not being so soft.
Well, the kid that he yelled at, and they caught it on tape and on national television, and he had to be taken away by another player. Just case in point, had a career high last night at 20, taking care of LSU and not even giving LSU ever a chance. We got a lot to talk about today. Oregon clearly a better team against UCI last Sunday. UCF, University of Central Florida, gave Duke all they could handle. How did that ball not go in? How did the
What
Virginia?
about last night? what about last night with Duke? I mean, Duke's got some kind of halo riding over them right now.
That, good teams find ways to win, and you got to be just lucky surviving in advance. It's and Duke had that game in control until late. They were up 6 or 7 almost throughout the 7-minute mark. They start pulling away, but I got to give a lot of credit. Virginia Tech was my team. I would have. I got to tell you that I have 4 teams in the Final Four still moving forward, and that's one of them is going to get knocked off today, Gonzaga and Texas Tech. And I got a little half a little number against Virginia. Can't really get really excited about which Virginia, but they are talented, and Kentucky's starting to put it all together. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. I want to get to Santa Anita because I think folks tuning into the radio program on this Saturday morning. What about, Tommy D, what about a Reader's Digest? Very quickly, pick 5 from Santa Anita.
Are you talking about the first 5 races?
Yes, sir.
Okay, first 5 races here. Race 1, I like the 5 horse would be my top choice, 6-1. But I think this is a nice race to start the day. I think the card's very competitive. I like the 5, 10, 8, and I got to put the favorite in there, 3. 5, 10, 8, 3 in that order. But I think 5 top choice. Broke its maiden going down the hill last time out, so I'm sticking with that angle. So 5, 10, 8, 3 in the first leg. Moving on to race 2, Hey Sequoia would be my top choice, dropping down in class, 4th and it's last at a higher level here. So I will be using the 6 and the 9, the 2 class droppers here in race number 2. In race number 3, I'll be using the 8, the 5, the 9, and the 4. Top choice would be the 8. Tis a Master at 3-1. Horse is dropping in class, shortening up, going turf to dirt. Won 3 in a row before its last time, and you got trainer Maury training here. 8, 5, 1, 4 in race number 3. Moving along to race 4, I think this one is wide open. I think you got a spread here. With a smaller ticket, I'd be using the 10 as my top choice. This horse is West Point Thoroughbred, Uncle Mo here. I really like the chances here. Number 7, Sibyllus Kitty, Baltus first-time starter, 16% for Tail of a Cat, first-time starter. Number 8, Miss Ava's Union, Baltus here on going to look good here. Second start, second in its first. Union Rags is going to be the bloodline there. So I'm going to use a couple prices here. 10, 7, 8 to use it a little bit later on the ticket, but I would use the 9, the 11, the 6, and the 5 also on deeper tickets.
All right, let me go to Zap here now. Let's bring Zap in, see if he wants to, add anything in the first 4 before we get to the first grade 1.
I was told about in the first race that Richie Baltus, the 3 horse, would fire by Mario Gutierrez's agent, Matt Nakatani. So he's been working the horse. So I'm going to take his word for it. So let's use the 3 Princess Ra or Roy. I think Ayakara forgot how to win until last time, the 2 horse. So I'm going to throw in the 2 Ayakara in race number 2. 6-1 seems very fair to me. In the start of the race, Bill Morey, he's been on a roll up north, even when we didn't have racing. Number 8, Tis a Master, would be my top selection, Felix. I really believe Miss Ava's Union's going to crush in the 4th race. Very fair, 4-1. This horse ran a very good debut, and the horse has been training really, really good, and that's the first 4 races for me.
All right, Tommy D, let's go to the Frank Kilroe Mile. 400,000, grade 1 material here, 1 mile on the turf. What do you think?
Yeah, so like spreading in those first races on deeper tickets, I would, but I'm going to take a chance on Catapult shortening up here. Second in the Breeder Cup Mile, Sadler DVD here. This horse is going to hopefully come back and run a big race. Ohio was another horse. McCarthy running really nice here. And next shares possibly, but this is a pretty competitive race. But I was taking a shot with number 4 Catapult here in this race. Zap, in race 4, just real quick, who is the horse that you like there?
Miss Ava's Union, the 8 horse.
Okay, perfect. I just wanted to get that correct.
And if anybody saw the ride and trip of River Boyne last time, Flavian Pratt just put the horse in the wrong spot, and the horse got stopped cold. I think River Boyne, I've seen him out of that race. I just think He is a brilliant miler, and I think he gets that mile today. So number 6, River Boyne for me in the Kilrow Mile.
All righty. So there you have the first 5. We go right back to San Carlos, which is a grade 2 at 7 furlongs. Zapper, race number 6 of a 10-race card. And this will start the pick 5, the late pick 5, which should be really juicy. What do you have in regard to race number 6?
X-Man's going to wire this field. I mean, I really believe that. He likes 7/8 of a mile. He comes off a big win. There's not a whole lot of – for this kind of race, Felix, there's not a whole lot of pace in this race. I don't think Victor Espinosa is going to go after Bath or too hard early on St. Joe Bay. And if that doesn't happen, X-Man's going to control everything in this race. And Cantafa is a very honest horse, 3 out of 4 at the distance. If there is any kind of pace in the middle of the race, I would take him to close, but I'm going to stick inside here. 2-1 for me in the San Carlos.
What do you have there, Tommy D?
Yeah, I kind of like Dr. Door a little bit. I know this horse hasn't been doing much, but this horse should be speed, maybe up front. Been off the bench since August, but this horse did run in the Pacific Classic last year. So I do like Dr. Door, number 6, a little bit here. And then Solid Wager. Peter Miller bringing this horse back west, won a grade 3 in January at Aqueduct. Peter Miller has a lot of love for this horse. Number 7, Solid Wager back in out here in California. That one seemed a little interesting to me too. So I think 6, 7, and then 2 here for me would be my top choices.
All righty. So that's race number 6. So, Zapper, what do you think in regard? Hold on 1 second, Zapper. Hold on. Is this what this World Cup?
Capizano holding up over on the inside. New Trails was next, Audible, followed by Axelrod, then Yoshida. Dolcon was up on the outside. Tillings off to Pavel, who'll be third from last with Seeking the Soul, and Gunnavera from the inside pole went right back to the rear. North America, the leader over Thunder Snow as they leave the straight. Capizano needs a little bit more room over on the fence as reefing and tearing against the rider. Up on the outside is Gronkowski as they go to the back from New Trails. Then came Audible. A length away in the field is Dolcon, just ahead of Dolcon. In actual fact was Axelrod. Audible's back on the fence. Then came Pavel, Yoshida, Seeking the Soul, and Gunnavera sees them all. Down the back, 28.68 was the first 400 metres. North America is the front runner. Moving up on the outside to tackle it now is Gronkowski. Thunder Snow is between horses as they're about to turn off the back. Capizano down on the rails ahead of New Trails. 2 lengths away in the field, then to Axelrod feeling the pinch. Pavel takes off. Yoshida next of all, then Audible, Seeking the Soul, about to make a long run from the back with Gunnavera, and Dolcong's back at the rear. Top of the straight, and Gronkowski is pouring on the pressure to North America, still travelling okay. Thunder Snow is sweating on them. 3 lengths away then to Pavel around the outside. All that next of all then New Trails. They were followed by Capizano, but Gronkowski went to the lead. Thunder Snow out in the middle. North America down on the fence. Pavel from a long way back. Gronkowski the front runner, 250 metres to go. Thunder Snow on the outside, levelling up. Down the outside, Gunnavera and Pavel. Thunder Snow going after Gronkowski. Thunder Snow reaches the front. Gronkowski fights hard. Thunder Snow, Gronkowski. Thunder Snow on the outside. Nose in front of double Thunder. Thunder with Thunder Snow getting in a nose to Gronkowski. Close up behind them is Gunnavera. They were followed by Audible, who flew home with Pavel, and close up Yoshida.
Well, there you go. The Dubai World Cup here, brought to you by TVG. They're listening to that one there. And unbelievable trip there. The winner, looked pretty solid. Thunder Snow coming home, the 12 horse here. But, Gronkowski gave the horse everything that it had. And Gronkowski was a big talk last year and, got injured on the trail last year.
Yeah, well, he was in a Triple Crown without any question about that. He definitely ran into Belmont, if you remember that. Who won the race? Thunder Snow?
That is correct.
What was the morning line?
Morning line on Thunder Snow was, let me just double check it here before.
He's the repeat winner from last year, Felix. He won the race last year as well.
All righty. Good for him and good for the connections. All right, let's go to the Santa Ana. As we talked about, Zapper, this is race number 7 from Santa Anita. 1.25 miles, fillies and mares on the turf. What do you think?
Matt Chu has 2 horses in here, and is probably Streak of Luck ran the race of her life last time in the Buena Vista. He's also got Poster Girl, so that's the 4 and the 2, and I'm using them both because Streak of Luck just might try to sneak away with, not Streak of Luck, Poster Girl might try to sneak away with Evan Roman. Streak of Luck should be in a great spot, and there's no doubt that Richard Baltus's 6-horse Eliza's World probably needed her last race. I'm just going to keep it simple, 2, 4, 6, and I'm hoping for the 4 because she's the best price, and that's Poster Girl.
All right, Tommy D, what do you think? This is the Santa Ana, 1.25 miles, fillies and mares, 1 mile on a quarter, 1.25 miles on the turf course up there at Santa Anita.
Yeah, I do like number 2, Streak of Luck, and I know ran a big race like Zap said. Tyler Bays gets the call here, but this horse was real close to Basilica last time out, which is a great horse. So I think Streak of Luck does have a chance here. In number 6, Alicia's World for Baltus, second off the bench, 4-1 last time at the post. I think this horse can also improve here. I like 2, 6 in race 7.
Zapper, what do you think? Race number 7.
I just said 2, 4, 6, Felix.
All right.
First 4 just because of the value.
Yeah, that noise in the background sort of threw me off there from Santa Anita.
Well, we were watching, if you can believe this, TVG showed the Dubai World Cup on delay. They had to show a race from Gulfstream first.
Yeah, of course. I mean, what was it? An $8,000 claimer at Gulfstream versus one of the rich.
Probably.
Yeah, that's good programming there. And we know one thing about TVG: if they show you, they never, after the race is over, after the horse hits the finish line, they don't care about giving you the results or the payouts or whatever. They're going to somewhere else. You have to figure it out when you see the crawl. All right. So Zapper likes 2, 4, 6 in race number 7. I want to skip a race. I want to go to the Beholder Mile. $400,000. That's our race number 9. Tommy D, you open up. Zapper will put the hammer down. What do you think?
Well, yeah, number 5, Marley's Freedom is going to be the horse everyone's talking to. Morning line 4-5. 15 starts, 8 wins, 2 place. Won a grade 2 to Santa Monica last time off the bench for Bob Baffert. This horse is going to be hard to beat. Number 5, Marley's Freedom today. On the underneath exotics, I'll be using the 4, Exuberance at a price. Victor Espinoza up to ride here. Number 7, Mopotism, and 2, Celicourt underneath Marley's Freedom. And I don't know if it should pay that much because Marley's Freedom should go off as a big-time favorite here in race 9.
Zapper, concur?
Well, one thing in handicapping this race, one thing we have to learn from yesterday at Santa Anita, and I commend them for bringing, everything that's happened at Santa Anita has happened for a reason. This is our own little personal 9/11. We had to change some ways of doing business. We had to take better care of the horses. Everything, to me, looks better out there every morning. The track looked slow yesterday, and I think it's very demanding. And I think there's going to be a lot of weird form reversals over this track, and I think you got to be very careful. Baffert wasn't supposed to lose the straight maiden yesterday at 2-5, and his horse just hit a wall at the 8th hole. And I'm starting to believe we're going to see more and more of this. I'm just going to take a crazy stab. There's no doubt in my mind Marley's Freedom is the best horse in this race. Can the horse truly go turn? Maybe, maybe not. But number 4, Exuberant. This is an up-and-coming horse for Eric Kruljack. This horse will be making a very late run, and if the race falls apart, why not take 15-1 on Eric Kruljack or Ian Kruljack? It's the same thing. They're pretty much a team father and son. Let's just take a crazy long shot stab at number 4, Exuberance, who I think could be the now horse in a race that might fall apart because of all the speed that's lined up.
What's up, homie?
No, I was going to say I like that horse too quite a bit here. So Exuberance going to be a tough task here. But number 5, Marley's Freedom, this could set up for this horse. So I like Zap's pick there, 15-1.
Yeah, you see how he just threw that Oregon Cal State Irvine game right back at me. Made sure that I gave him props in regards to the hamburger and beer and French fries. Well, what?
He deserves it. He's been on fire. He's picked every game. I don't think he's been on the air.
He was waiting for me to applaud him and kneel down to him and praise him for that. That one win that he had. But he said he had
one win. Please, that's no soup.
All right.
I haven't given a loser on the air, Felix. Go back to your tape.
All right, roll tape. Roll tape, technical director. Did Larry Zapp give any losers on college basketball's March Madness?
No.
No, it said needs more information. Hold on, let me do it again. Let me bring Toby Turrell into the. He has all the information for us. What's up, Double T?
Hey, roll tape. I like that. How about thunder snow as they all celebrate over there in Dubai? And a far, far cry from the bucking Bronco that we saw in the Kentucky Derby get left way behind the field. Now the champion over there in Dubai in the big Dubai World Cup. As far as not needing to roll the tape, I can tell you that I have not given out a loser in the March Madness proceedings because I'm a big 1-for-1, thanks to my good little buddy Ryan Casado, and I will be waiting on him as we're all going to have to wait and see if I remain perfect. As you know what, Felix, you kind of build me that way coming into the tournament, so I'm on pins and needles waiting for the next big release. It won't be today.
All right. So, you only got a few more bullets to fire, so, don't take your time. Who was the game last week he released to you?
Houston.
That's right. Very, very nice, and Houston had no trouble. Very, very nice ball club. They had Kentucky on the ropes last night. All right, let's talk a little bit about a couple of the races that are going to be a part. What do you think, first and foremost, about the track yesterday, Toby?
The track is slow, Felix. It's kind of Del Mar-esque. We have a slow track down there because we have the same trackman. That's your common thread veteran trackman, Dennis Moore, has come in. And one thing about Dennis, I've already heard people around here crying about how slow the racetrack is this morning. And like I just told a very good friend of mine, trainer Mike Pipey, just adapt to it because one thing about Dennis is he marches to his own drum. He doesn't listen to anybody. And I said, what you're going to have now is what you're going to have because he will not bend you will not bend his ear in any direction. So expect the same racetrack that we had yesterday to be the same way today. It's already been that way through all of these hundreds of workouts we've had this morning. All in all, I think it was a fair track yesterday. You could win on the lead. You could come from behind a little bit. So that's the key. I guess we just have to adapt, adjust, and move to today's 10-race card here at Santa Anita. Good balanced card all the way through. We start out with a maiden race in race number 4, a good full field of fillies. And speaking of my good buddy Ryan Casado, his dad, little Nick Casado, who runs Slam Dunk. This is a prized filly. They're going to be marching postward for them in their stable named Miss Ava's Union. She will hopefully make the last run in here, the winning run. Joel Rosario has taken a lot of time out of his day and his schedule to stay on this filly and train her kind of along with Richard Baltus in the mornings. I'm hoping it all pays off today with a good upset win to kick us off in race 4 by number 8, Miss Ava's Union.
And Heriberto Figueroa, our boy, is on top, and so good luck to those connections. All right, Toby, so looking over the whole entire card, I know that you put your winner's card together and you have your selections and what have you, but if you were betting live money today and you said, from what I've seen, what my eye has brought forth, who would it be, which race would it be, and where would you go?
Well, I would have to go and be a little conservative because I believe this is the biggest standout as far as a winner on the card. And that comes in the next race, race number 5 here on the turf. Number 4, Catapult, has been in tremendous shape for a long time, all the way back to Del Mar there, Felix, where that horse ran lights out and caused a big upset down there. And he has not slowed down since. He He was trained on very, very intensely to go into the Breeders' Cup. He was trained intensely to go back to the Pegasus Big Undercard racing day, and that turf course was a bog that day, heavy, heavy rain. And now this horse should be more than legged up, more than fit enough to win today. And I think he's the best horse in the race on top of it. So that would be where my case money would go, would probably be on Catapult for John Sadler in race number 5.
All right. Can you confidently give us confidently in the finale, 6.5 down the turf? It's number 9. Ridden by the same guy that's running your Catapult today. That's our man, Drayden Van Dyke. What do you have in the finale, race number 10, which should just get us out the door and get into maybe one of the games, Gonzaga and Texas Tech, which goes at, well, no, that game will be gone as well. So
3:09 Pacific time.
Yeah, 5:58 post time of Santa Anita. So no chance. I guess we're going to have to double date here. Gonzaga, Texas Tech at 3 o'clock, somewhere around the 4th race at Santa Anita. Toby, what do you think about the 9th?
Good open race. The 10th, we'll go to the 10th. Down the hill, these are also maidens, and I'm going to go same barn, different tune. In fact, the rail horse in here, Claudel, I believe has been waiting for this day to get onto the turf course and to come down this hill. I believe this is where her mechanics are going to shine for where she is mechanically able to run her best race. And she'll be a big, big price because it's taken a long time for her to get here. A lot of failed attempts. But today she can make up for it all in a big, big way at 8-1 on the morning line. We're going to go to the rail filly in here, Claudel.
You know, Toby, Zapper has reserved his bar stool at Chiefs for that hamburger last weekend, French fries and a beer that he won for me. So I was going to ask you, Zapper, in regard to your 9-1 record, where was your loss?
Duke, in their first game, they always say be careful about giving 20, way too many points. If you recall, I can't even remember who they played, Felix, but they fell behind the first half. They stormed ahead. They went up by 30 and got backdoored late, not caring about covering like 26.5 points. Just one of those wish you wouldn't have given that many points type of games.
But you don't remember who they played, though, right?
I don't remember that team, but why would I want to remember? They were 16th ranked. But I will tell you today, I'm just taking the points with Purdue, but I wouldn't blame anybody for taking the money line today.
Okay. Duke beat North Dakota State in the first round.
Yeah, and they could have beat them by 50, but they didn't feel like it.
Yeah, okay.
That's the problem with giving 26.5 points.
So where are you releasing all, Toby Turrell is waiting. Tommy D has his arms crossed. He's waiting. I'm waiting. Radio play today. Only 2 games. You can go.
I just said it. Purdue will cover, but and I would just take the cover. What are they, 4.5 point dogs?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're going to probably